So, new year. Yay. Turn to your neighbor and say, today I release and I let go. I am free. Excellent, excellent. So today's reading is from Hazel Henderson, who is an economist. And she says, if we can recognize that change and uncertainty are basic principles, we can greet the future and the transformation we are undergoing with the understanding that we don't know enough to be pessimistic. Think about that. So this is our wonderful letting go ritual today. And so today is the day to think about what is it that you're making a decision to let go of. And at the same time, when we let go of something, we create room for something else to come in, right? So we're letting go, we're doing our spiritual house cleaning today, so that next week you're going to have this wonderful open vessel in which to create your year. So think about that. So think about what it is today that you're going to lay down that might be holding you back from your dreams, your desires, something that you have been putting off maybe, and now it's time. Today's your year. This is your year. And I am going to put my glasses on because you were waiting for that, I know. So the end of year is a time where we reflect on these questions. And sometimes it's important just to be in the question, though. We may not have the answer to that question. We just sort of allow ourselves to be. We have a question, and we sit with it. And we use our spiritual principles and our spiritual practices to open us up to what is it that I need to let go of? What is it that I want to let go of? What is it that's been holding me back? And so today you may or may not get that answer, but you're creating the container in which the answer can come. Does that make sense? So this is our conscious time of being really conscious, creating consciously, and it's a blank slate. We have a blank canvas. This year we've talked about the foundation of transformation, which is self-awareness, calling to mind those things, those habitual ways of thinking, those habitual ways of doing that maybe don't serve us anymore. And we can begin to really consciously bring those to the forefront and go, is that really the attitude that I want to carry through in this new year? Is that really the belief that I want to carry through? And so it's a time to sort of take stock and, again, use our spiritual principles to increase our self-awareness. So, I'll give you an example. I want you to think about something that is kind of running in the background. Just close your eyes for a sec. And is there a limiting belief or a limiting feeling that seems to be sort of in your background? Just kind of always there, but you're not always aware of it. Okay. And now think about what are the thoughts that are generated by that feeling. What are some of the thoughts that are popping up? Okay. And now take it a step further. What are some of the actions that come out of as a result of those thoughts? And it might be inaction. The typical example is, we know that exercise is good for us, right? Everybody knows that. And yet, many times we hold ourselves back and we find reasons to not do that. So what's in the background? What's that chronic thing in the background that's causing that inaction? And so this is just a little exercise to begin to bring what's in the background to the foreground. Does that make sense? Something to kind of get you rolling with this. And so in the new year, we sing Old Lang Syne, right? Which means for old time's sake, for the sake of old times. And so as we reflect back on our year, we learned, what have we learned? What's been our, what are the growing edges that we've addressed? What are the growing edges that we still have? Okay? And so let's look back on the year. How has it been a year? What do you feel good about during this year? What are you going to keep? Or what do you feel good about that you're going to continue to build on? What are your challenges? What are your growing edges? What are you going to step into or maybe step out of? Because remember, we all have a story. There's some of these chronic things that run in the background have a little story that goes with them. I'm this, or I'm that, or I'm just, or I'm not, right? Think about how we talk about ourselves and begin to pay attention to the words that we use when we're talking about ourselves. And when we catch ourselves speaking about ourselves in a limiting way, well, there's a clue. There's a clue as to what that little chronic thing might be running in the background. Do you kind of get that? So change, one of the reasons that these chronic things kind of run is because change can be scary. Sometimes we can be comfortable in our discomfort because it's known, right? And the change can be scary. There's a little haiku that I wrote a long time ago that helps me when I'm feeling like that, and it goes like this. I shed my desires, and I leap joyfully into the abyss. Immediately, I'm enfolded in pure love. And so that's what's happening this year. We are taking the leap. We're letting go. This is our little ritual of letting go and taking that leap, because we, as a spiritual community, we're going to lift each other up, right? We're going to hold out the very best and highest for each other this year and all years. And so we know that when we're doing the scary things, when we're taking those risks, we got each other's backs, right? Yeah? Turn to your neighbor and go, I got your back. Awesome. Awesome. So we're gonna take that risk. We're gonna take that leap this year, okay? And Eleanor Roosevelt said, do something every day, something that scares you. What do you think of that? Pretty good advice, okay? Because we all have each other's back, right? And it doesn't have to be a huge, scary thing. It can just be something simple, right, that you've been putting off. But you know that in the long run, it's going to be something that helps you. So just with one little scary thing, little steps, right? You do one scary thing and you go, oh, I did it. Okay. And you get energized. You're like, okay, well, if I did that, now I can do this, right? And so you start to build on those little risks, those fun little risks that we take. And so changes all around us. We live the changes. The earth, every year, the earth goes through her changes. We're taking through spring and summer and fall and winter, and so we can metaphysically embrace these changes in our own lives. So spring comes and we get a whole new energy, and summer we're outside, and fall we're starting to kind of begin to come within, and in winter we're hunkering down. And so we can kind of use the earth as our model. She just flows, right? She just flows through her seasons. She doesn't go, oh man, it's winter. Can't stand summer, right? She just flows through her seasons. And so we can do the same. We can just flow through our changes, through our seasons. And so this is the day where we're going to allow life to flow through us, right? We are life. We're the life force, and we're just going to open up. We're going to let go of stuff. And what's that life force that wants to just come through us? How are we going to more fully express that life force, right? So, on this day, here we go. It's a time to release those judgments that we have of ourselves and others. Got it? No more, Time to release the remembrances of ourselves when we didn't show up the way we wanted as love or compassion or forgiveness. So we're going to forgive ourselves. We're going to let it go. We're going to forgive others. We're going to let it go because we don't want to hang on to that energy, right? We're going to create something new. Time to release holding on to our fears, those thoughts, those feelings that keep us from stepping out of what's comfortable in order to have the dreams and desires of our heart that keep us from boldly stepping into new territory and discovering more and more of what we are and what we can express. What do you think? Yeah? Yeah? Open up a little more? Okay, just for fun. We don't have a whole lot of room, but I want you just to somehow physically open yourself up a little. Just open yourself up. Okay? Just allow yourself to, and use that. Just imagine that, life's just pouring through you, and you're in the flow, okay? Do you feel it? You're in the flow. And so this exercise is about allowing that stuff that we don't need anymore to just flow on out, okay? And it's a time for us to honor what has been because we've learned. We learned from our mistakes. Being on the spiritual path is about learning and growing. Right? So we honor what we've learned and we allow it to go. We let go for what's next. So today we start anew. We claim the freedom that we already are, and we have the opportunity to release that which no longer serves us. Unity has 12 powers, and today we're using our power of elimination, and we're using our power of imagination because we're beginning to imagine what do we want to create, okay? So we release old thoughts and beliefs, and Charles Fillmore said, thoughts are things. They occupy space in the mental field. A healthy state of mind is attained and continued when the thinker willingly lets go of the old thoughts and takes on the new. So this morning, we have the opportunity to release those old thought patterns, agreements, ways of being that keep us from being our full self. And so we have this wonderful sacred ritual that we do every year. And rituals are a great way to invoke the divine presence. They're a great way for our bodies to really take it in. Okay? Rituals it's a physical thing that we do. And then we remember, oh yeah, I let that go. I watched it go. So because stuff, it's there and we've let it go, but sometimes it wants to creep back in, right? And so we go, no. You burned up. You're done. You're out of here, right? Okay? So here we go. Here's how this is going to work. Logistically, this is called the burning bowl. And you have a little piece of flash paper. Did anybody not get a piece of flash paper? Okay, ushers, keep your hands up high, and our ushers will bring you a pencil. You should all have a little pencil and a piece of flash paper. Hands up high if you need supplies. Okay. Thing do something bad? Oh, it came out of my ear. There we go. Okay, I'm good. All right, is everybody supplied? So you have a little pencil and you have a little piece of flash paper, right? Okay, good. So what you're going to do, this is going to be a meditative process. We have 2 bowls here. So what's going to happen is we're going to start with 2 sections. And each section is going to come up and go to this bowl You guys will come to this bowl, you guys will come to this bowl. And we're going to start at the back row and come back out the sides, and you'll do your burning, and you'll go up this row back to your seat. Does that make sense, everybody? So the back rows of this side and this side will start, and then you guys will go from the back. You'll kind of split yourselves around, come and pick a bowl, and then go back out the side. So I think we might run into a little traffic jam if we try to go back up the middle. Does that make sense, guys? Okay. So we have 2 bowls, so we'll go a little bit quicker today. All right, so let me show you how this is going to work. But maybe not. There we go. Yay, okay. So you'll write the things that you're wanting to get rid of, and I have a little meditation that I'll walk you through. And then when, at some point, I will point to you guys at the back row, and I'll start the process of coming up, okay? And it's wonderful. So you write down the things that you're really ready, right? Are you really ready? You so ready to get rid of this stuff. You're so ready, okay? And you're writing them down, these words, probably single word. You don't have a lot of room, so you're probably going to write words. And then you just do this. And off it goes. Poof. You put it in the candle, drop it in the bowl, and it's gone. And watch it go, because it's gone. And remember, if it tries to creep back up, what do? You say, you burned up. You're out of here. Or be gone. Whatever dramatic thing you want to say, okay? All right, so settle in, and I'll walk you through this little meditation. Okay. So, as you see the flash paper extinguish itself, you will see and feel that old thought go away. And as you return to your seat, hold that space, hold that knowing that it's gone, that you've released it. Hold that knowing, okay? All right, so kind of get quiet. I'll take you through the meditation, and then I'll have people start coming up. So just take a deep breath and settle in. And look back over your year, the events, the words spoken, the people. Maybe there were some limited ways that you showed up, the ways you think you could have done better, the ways you're still holding on to the past, the fears, the hesitations, the doubts, the limiting beliefs that you still hold about yourself or others. What are you ready to release? What are you ready to release? Bring to mind a dream or a desire you've had. And what do you need to let go of to bring that dream to fruition? Are you willing to release this thing and make way for a new possibility? We acknowledge and we bless what has been, and we release it. Reflect on the blessings you've received and the growth opportunities you've had. And know that you have grown and expanded regardless of how you might see it or how you've judged yourself. Because part of this process is letting go of your self-judgment. And so start thinking about it and writing down those words, those qualities, those sentiments that you're ready to let go of. Just take some time in this and start writing that down.